Hello and welcome back, Real Men's Garage. This is day 2 of Judgment Day, if you will. You be the judge. The last video I showed you snippets, a little montage, whatever, of a drone I used, and I wanted you to guess, if you could, which drone it was, okay? Or if it was acceptable for a standard, etc., etc., okay? So let's revisit that now. Just a short clip of that, what we saw the other day, okay? Roll that film right here. Okay, we've seen that clip. Now I'm going to run another clip from, earlier last spring, I think it was, when I had about 6 or 7 drones up. And I'll show you this 10 or 15 second shot of all the drones on the same screen. And just take this into consideration, okay? Here we go with that little shot. So you've seen those now, and you've had a little refresher on what I shot the other day or what I posted the other day. So a lot of you suggested all kinds of different drones. Okay, so I'm just going to go down the list here of some of them that were or were not mentioned. I'm going to start, and I looked them up today. I looked them up by price. Okay, so most expensive to the least expensive. And we're going to see where these drones fall. Okay, the most expensive, like, mini drone you can buy now, basically, ironically, is the DJI Mini 3 Pro, because you can't get it in the standard package. You have to buy it with a DJI RC controller, which comes in at $899. It wasn't that drone. Next, you'll see Hubsan Aces. There's the Hubsan Ace, the Hubsan Ace Pro, the Hubsan Ace Refined, the Hubsan Ace 2 with a 1-inch sensor. They're upwards of around $650, $700, $850. Now this is US dollars, okay? US dollars. So all Hubsan drones, okay, are really expensive for what they really are, okay? But no, it wasn't a Hubsan drone. Then we come down a little peg, and it's an over 250 gram drone, this one here, the Fimi X8 Pro with the 1 over 1.3 camera, okay? One of their newer releases, okay? $709 US dollars, okay? It wasn't one of those, okay? Then we come into the Hubsan Minis, okay? The SE Refines, the Hubsan Mini, the Xeno Mini Pro, the Xeno Refined, all this kind of stuff. And no, it wasn't any of them, but they're very expensive for what they are. And they're around the $600 mark, 600 US and up, around there, a little bit less, a little bit more, $600. Wasn't one of those. Then we've got the Fimi X8 SE 2022 version 2. Okay, that's a great deal. Okay, that's a great deal with the 1/2 inch sensor on that one. I have the version 1 of that. It's excellent drone, and it's coming in at $459 US dollars. $459. Okay, it wasn't one of those. The Anafi. I have an Anafi. No, it wasn't an Anafi. And you can't really get the Anafi now. There are some refurbished ones or fixed ones. They're few and far between. But they're going to run you between $450, $500. But no, it wasn't one of those. And I have lots of videos and a playlist for just the Anafi as well. Okay. I have playlists for most of these if you want to check them out later. Okay. But no, it wasn't an Anafi. Then coming down the list, you've got one, I don't have it, but it kind of falls into that 3-axis gimbal, decent camera, maybe GPS, a few autonomous modes and all this kind of stuff. It's a Holy Stone HS720R. Okay. Now, to look at it, it looks like its specs are pretty good. Okay, it's over 250 grams, but it's $399 US. Why would you spend $399 on that when we're not even halfway through the list here and we can get so much better? $399. That's a lot of money for that drone. No, not worth it. I looked at all the videos, the YouTube videos on that. No. And it wasn't one of those because I don't have it. But I just thought I'd throw that in. That's a money value thing. Next coming down the list is the DJI Mini 3 Standard. Now I have one of those. Okay. And the standard one, standard edition, is $335 from DJI. That's pretty good. $335 for the DJI Mini 3 Standard. That's not bad. Okay. But it wasn't one of those. Then we've got what a lot of people thought it was. We have the Potensic Atom at $299 US. Potensic Atom, okay? Newcomer to this, 3-axis gimbal, sub 250 gram, lots of specs, looks good on paper. A lot of people say it's really, really good. Does have connections issues, does have range issues, does have this issues, that issue. There are a few little issues with it, but it's building and building and building. I can hardly wait till it comes out with the Atom 2, which should be just amazing, but it's $299, okay, for the single battery edition. Most people opt for the 3 battery edition, but for $299, you get the single battery option. That's the Atom, okay. Coming down the list, then you have the, just came out, so it's pre-order, I don't have it, the Fimi X8 Mini 3, okay, with their new 1/2 inch sensor stacked, okay, and it's at $299 as well, but you get 2 batteries with it, okay. So the Fimi X8 Mini 3 is $299, same price as the Potensic Atom, and it'll probably come on sale for cheaper than that. Down the list from that, you get the Fimi X8 Mini version 2. I've had a couple of them. Okay, the version 2 at $279 or even less. And I paid a lot less than that for mine, the orange one. Okay, but no, it wasn't that. Okay, the Fimi X8 Minis have a really, really good dynamic range. Okay, and the clip that you saw, the one that I was using, dynamic range wasn't that great, but it was clear, crystal, no jello. Horizon wasn't too bad. Okay. But no, it wasn't a Fimi. Coming down the list, another one some people said it might be was the Seafly Faith Mini 2. I wouldn't pay you to give me a Seafly Faith Mini or a Mini 2. It comes in at $260 US dollars. But no, it wasn't one of those, okay? And then coming down from that, you've got the Potensic Atom SE at $229, which is really bad as well. I wouldn't touch that. And then the bottom of the list, you've got the Seafly Faith Mini 1, okay, which I have one of those, and we're in negotiations because I got bait and switched, okay. I was looking for a limited edition special, and they shipped me that. Now there's a big debate and the sellers disappeared, and I'm in communication with PayPal, etc., etc., etc. So there's a big to-do about that one. But they shipped me the Seafly Faith Mini 1. Absolute garbage. Okay, absolutely horrible drone. So it wasn't that one. Okay, so what was it? Well, none of those I mentioned was any of them. It wasn't any of them. Okay. So let's take a little break here. We're going to come back. I'm going to show you another little clip, and we're going to continue. Okay, we're back now. Okay, so we've gone through a whole list from high to low in cost, okay? And the great equalizer in all this is cost, okay? And you have to decide what you want, what you need, and what you compromise for. and how much you're willing to spend, okay? If you want to be in the top dog league and all this, the DJI, Autel, Skydio, all that kind of stuff, then you're going to spend the big dollars and you're going to get your money's worth, basically. But a lot of people don't have $1,000 to spend, or they just want to get into the hobby. So how much are you willing to spend? So, and is it worth it? That's the big thing. Is it worth it? Okay. So I went on the hunt for a budget drone, and I don't normally do this. I don't go looking for cheap stuff, because generally cheap stuff is cheap stuff for a reason. Okay. So I went on the hunt. So all these that I've mentioned, I'll put the list up again, okay? And the pricing from over $800, $900, all the way down to, a couple of $100, okay? But there was one I looked at, and I've seen it around a lot, okay, over the years, okay? And I saw it in 3 or 4 different versions, okay? And then the worst thing for me about it was always a Wi-Fi drone. One of those where you have to turn on your phone and connect your Wi-Fi of your phone. You open up your Wi-Fi settings and connect to the Wi-Fi that's being transmitted from the drone. Those ones, generally, you never got more than a couple hundred meters out, and then it would fall apart, okay? And a lot of them that have EIS, electronic image stabilization, never really worked properly. So I limited it to, had to have GPS, 3-axis gimbal, a decent range, not connected to a regular Wi-Fi, had to be a cable and all that kind of stuff, okay? You're going to get at least 1 kilometer out of it, okay? And I wanted something affordable that if I was out prospecting or something and it hit a tree, got taken away by an eagle or something, it really wouldn't bother me that much, okay? So, wasn't that many around, okay? And yes, you can spend $85 and get a cheapy EIS drone from AliExpress, and it might go out, 50 meters and then fall or whatever. But I wanted something semi-reliable. So I checked all YouTube and the AliExpress for all the sellers and all the reviews and all this kind of stuff. And this one kept popping up and up and up. The earlier versions, okay? What is it? Well, it's right here, okay? Ready for this? Don't laugh, okay? And it was taken automatically. It only takes 2K video, okay? Not 2.7, it takes 2K video and 8 megapixel photos, okay? But it does have about a half-hour flight time. It does have a 1/2.33 camera. It does have a 3-axis gimbal. It does have a range of, I would say probably 2 or 3 kilometers easily. Has a great connection and a great video transmission feed. It also, unfortunately, is over 250 grams. But there you go. There are positives, there are negatives. Well, enough is enough. Here it is, okay? Don't laugh, don't laugh. Here we go. Can you read this? There we go. This is what it is. It's a big boy. The KF-101. I know. The KF-101 has been around for a while. There was a KF-101, the KF-101, the KF Plan 101, the KF-101 Max, the KF-101 Pro, and then this one, the KF-101 Max S, the Max S, and that's a cable connected onto your phone, okay, with antennas, and out it goes, okay? And the footage that you saw on this, and I'll have the footage running in the background here. Okay, the footage with this was taken on not a perfect day, okay, by any stretch of the imagination. It was raining on and off, very, very overcast, very gloomy day, okay? The positives are, as I said, okay, you get a half an hour of flight time pretty well, okay? It's got a decent sized battery. It's got a 3-axis gimbal. It's got an SD card. You can take the SD card in and out, okay? It does take 2K video, which is pretty good. Not the best, okay, but it's pretty good, as you saw. And yeah, it's got really good video transmission. What else can I say? It's not bad. The controller fits nice in the hand. It does fly very well. It's not as precise as what you would like. It's a little shaky, and I'll do a couple more videos. You'll see that. Okay, it's a little not erratic, but it's sudden movements. Okay, it does take photos. It takes videos. It has a bunch of autonomous modes, but we're going to get into all of that. Okay, it does have a few negatives. Okay, the negatives are that the documentation that came with it is basically for the other KF101s. Hasn't caught up to the S version yet. Okay, so a lot of the stuff that's on the app for the S version isn't in the documentation. So you kind of fly by the seat of your pants, but you kind of figure it out the way you go. Okay, there you go. So yeah, it does have some negatives, but it does have some positives. Now the big thing, the big positive here, okay, what's it cost? Okay, you've seen all those that I've given you there, and you're going from $800, $900 all the way down to, the C-Fly Faith Mini 2 at $160. Okay, one battery, controller. Basically, you get, here it is here. Here it is here. You get this case, okay? Get the case. Get the battery, get the controller. No, you don't put batteries in the controller. It's you plug it in, charge it up. Okay, get that. That's about it. You get some extra props. That's about it, and a user manual. US dollars, $169. $169. So that fell under my target range, which was $200, under that. Okay, so it's $100 cheaper, basically, than a FIMI X8 Mini. Okay, $100 cheaper. Okay, it doesn't quite have the same quality of video as the version 2 X8 Minis. Okay, but say you're just using it to check out your property or a farm or your whatever. Okay, you just want to check stuff out. Okay, fine. You don't want to put an expensive drone up to look out. Maybe it's just your scouting drone. You go out and have a look and stuff like that. Okay, so there you go, $169. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to go through the setup of this and how you connect it and go from there and have a couple of flights and see how it handles over time. Because I hate doing reviews where, oh, we take it out of the box, we plug it in, we fly it. Well, that doesn't really tell you much, because you can have a good flight and then the next day you can have a horrible flight. Okay, so I've had about 7 or 8 flights with this, and I've gone through, because the battery lasts a decent amount of time, I've gone through 4 battery charges with it. Okay, and I charged this up twice, I think. And we've run into issues and we've kind of solved them. We're kind of looking in the app, what's good and what's bad, and we're trying to figure it all out. And I'm back and forth with the seller and trying to figure things out. So we're still into that process. Once I get all the answers, I like to have the answers to the questions before I do a review. Okay, so I pretty well know what I'm talking about in essence. Okay, so yeah, so I have flown it a few times, and there are some little glitches here and there, but we're talking $169 US for this drone, and it's heavy. Okay, the good thing is hand catching. It doesn't have massive sensors on the bottom that make it go up 6 feet and down 6 feet. You put your hand out, and you can actually grab this and throttle down, and it will just land in your hand. And it's a beefy drone. It's about 400 grams or so, 500 grams. It's a beefy drone, but yeah, it lands solid in your hand, and away you go. SD card in here, great. Cover, 3-axis gimbal. There you go. KF101 Max S. Okay, Surprised me, surprised a lot of people, okay? The only way you really might have guessed that it was this one is if you looked at my community page, because I did have a picture of it there. Okay. Oh, sorry for that. Anyway, see you in the next one. In the meantime, hit that like, hit the subscribe, buy me a coffee. It's a horrible day outside today. That's why we're inside. We'll see you outside when it gets better. Take care. Bye now.